Chosen one, stop what you're doing, because what I'm about to share will shake your understanding of yourself. This is not coincidence, and it is not for everyone. The phase of testing, struggle, and waiting is over. You have completed the divine path, navigated the God's challenge with precision, and the search for the chosen one is finished. What you've endured, the pressure, the delays, the repeated trials, they were never random. They were designed to measure your awareness, discipline, and alignment, and you passed. This moment is critical because most people never realize when a phase ends. They continue as if they are still being evaluated and miss the opportunities waiting for them. The divine path is not about luck or desire. It is structural, scientific, and psychological. Your brain, your emotions, and your decisions were being tested for consistency under uncertainty. Those who fail under delayed reward, distraction, or emotional pressure are filtered out. You didn't fail. That's why this matters. Now, what happens to you is profound. Your perception sharpens, your intuition deepens, and your energy no longer leaks into unaligned effort. Neuroscience explains this. When prolonged uncertainty ends, the brain reallocates resources from survival to strategic execution. Your life will start moving with precision, not chaos. Doors will align, opportunities will emerge, and clarity will replace confusion. But only if you act with awareness and intention. The knowledge you are receiving now is transformative. You will learn how endurance rewires your identity, how discipline turns challenges into mastery, and why responsibility always precedes expansion. True alignment is not about chasing outcomes. It's about positioning yourself correctly. The journey of the chosen one begins with awakening, the moment when you realize that the path you are on is not ordinary and that it demands more than mere effort. It demands transformation. Few ever recognize it because most move through life unconsciously, reacting to circumstances rather than shaping them. The awakening is a recognition that your actions, choices, and mindset are no longer isolated. They are the threads of a larger tapestry, and every step matters. It is both exhilarating and terrifying as the weight of responsibility meets the clarity of purpose. In this phase, the challenge is understanding that your path is deliberately difficult. Neuroscience shows that confronting challenges that push you out of your comfort zone strengthens neural connections associated with decision-making, emotional regulation, and resilience. Each trial, each moment of doubt, is a training ground for the mind and soul. By embracing these obstacles instead of avoiding them, you set the stage for mastery, demonstrating a courage that few are willing to summon. Emotionally, the awakening evokes both awe and fear. Awe, because you glimpse your potential in its raw, unshaped form. Fear, because the journey demands you leave behind familiar comforts. Every chosen one faces this paradox, the exhilaration of possibility shadowed by the anxiety of responsibility. Yet those who lean into it find that even the fear itself becomes fuel, propelling them forward with focus and intensity unmatched by ordinary experience. The trials faced on the divine path are not random. They are structured systems designed to teach the interconnections between action, consequence, and insight. Complexity science explains how systems, whether natural, social, or personal, behave in nonlinear ways. Small inputs can produce significant outcomes, and feedback loops often amplify the effects of both success and failure. Understanding this principle transforms challenges from obstacles into opportunities for for strategic action. For example, in organizations or ecosystems, minor adjustments in behavior or decision-making can trigger cascading effects. The same principle applies to personal mastery. Learning to observe patterns, anticipate reactions, and adapt strategically allows the chosen one to operate with a precision that feels almost supernatural. Each challenge, therefore, is a puzzle, an intricate system designed to reveal hidden connections between knowledge, action, and consequence. Emotionally, navigating these systems is both daunting and rewarding. It cultivates patience, analytical thinking, and the humility to recognize that not all variables are visible at first glance. The deeper insight is that the divine path is a microcosm of life itself. Success depends not on brute force or luck, but on understanding how forces interact, adapting, and acting decisively when opportunity arises. This understanding becomes a foundation for mastery that lasts far beyond the trials themselves. Mastery is born in the mind. Modern neuroscience demonstrates that deliberate, focused effort in the face of challenge strengthens the brain's executive functions, which govern attention, problem-solving, and emotional control. The Chosen One's journey is essentially a rigorous mental training program. Each trial is a stimulus that strengthens cognitive resilience, building circuits that allow for sharper decision-making and greater control over impulses. Consider elite athletes or musicians. The repeated practice of difficult tasks rewires the brain, creating efficiency in areas critical for high performance. Similarly, every decision, every moment of intense focus on the divine path forms mental pathways that make future challenges easier to navigate. The precision with which one approaches each challenge, the attention to detail, the mindfulness in action, determines the speed and depth of growth. On an emotional level, neuroscience explains why some trials feel overwhelming. Stress triggers cortisol, which can impair focus if unmanaged. Yet when harnessed correctly, stress acts as a catalyst, sharpening perception and strengthening determination. The Chosen One learns to embrace these moments, converting tension into clarity and pressure into peak performance. This is how mastery becomes a habit and how the mind transforms from reactive to intentional. Fear, doubt, and uncertainty are often seen as enemies, but in the journey of the Chosen One, they are powerful allies. Psychological studies reveal that negative emotions, when consciously managed, can enhance focus, urgency, and creative problem-solving. The dark corners of your mind, where fear resides, are not voids to be avoided. They are reservoirs of untapped energy, waiting to be transformed into action. History is full of examples. Inventors, explorers, and leaders often cite moments of extreme pressure or imminent failure as the catalyst for their greatest breakthroughs. By reframing fear as fuel rather than foe, the Chosen One leverages the very emotions that terrify ordinary people to propel themselves into exceptional performance. This is dark motivation in its purest form, acknowledging the weight of consequence, then channeling it into relentless effort. Emotionally, embracing dark motivation is liberating. It instills courage, sharpens awareness, and deepens commitment. You begin to understand that fear is not weakness. It is a signal of significance, a reminder that your actions matter. By leaning into it, you find a level of focus and determination that ordinary incentives cannot replicate, and you learn that the path of mastery is illuminated as much by shadows as by light. True transformation occurs when what you know, what you believe, and what you do converge into a single, coherent force. This is the essence of the chosen one occupying their true form. Philosophers and psychologists alike emphasize that alignment between values and actions is the cornerstone of fulfillment, resilience, and effective decision-making. Without alignment, even great knowledge or skill falls short. Intent and execution must move in harmony. For instance, studies in organizational psychology show that employees who perceive alignment between personal and organizational values perform with far higher engagement and innovation. Similarly, the chosen one experiences an internal synergy, understanding, capability, and ethics fuse to create a presence and impact that feels effortless yet formidable. This is the culmination of training, reflection, and courage, the visible manifestation of internal mastery. Emotionally, reaching this alignment brings profound satisfaction and clarity. The anxiety of indecision, the fatigue of misaligned effort, and the doubt that clouds lesser paths vanish. The chosen one operates with purpose and intention, confident that their actions reflect their highest understanding. It is not a moment of arrival, but a continuous state of evolution, where each decision reinforces identity, power, and influence. Perfect. Here's the script for headings 6 to 10, rewritten in the same humanized, knowledge-rich, motivational style with 3 long paragraphs each. The chosen one's path is not just about action, it is also about understanding the principles that govern life. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses. Each trial on the divine path is an opportunity to exercise this principle, to act with wisdom, remain unshaken by chaos, and transform adversity into growth. Existentialist insights further reinforce that meaning is not given. It is chosen, created through deliberate engagement with challenges. This philosophy translates directly into strategy. Every choice, whether tactical or moral, is a reflection of your understanding of causality, ethics, and long-term consequence. By internalizing these principles, the chosen one acts not impulsively but intentionally, choosing paths that maximize learning, growth, and influence. This deliberate framework turns uncertainty into a canvas of opportunity. Emotionally, philosophy equips the chosen one with resilience. The storms of doubt, fear, or external pressure lose their paralyzing effect when anchored in reason and purpose. With ethical strategy guiding action, even the darkest moments become opportunities for character refinement. Philosophy is no longer an abstract discipline. It becomes a living, practical tool for navigating the trials that shape mastery. Pressure is the ultimate test of strategy. The chosen one learns that every decision carries consequences, and that anticipating the moves of others or the shifting conditions of life is essential. Game theory provides a roadmap. Every interaction, conflict, or negotiation is a scenario where optimal strategies, risk evaluation, and calculated sacrifice determine success. Learning to model outcomes, estimate probabilities, and anticipate reactions turns uncertainty into a competitive advantage. Risk analysis is equally crucial. Life rarely presents clear-cut choices. The real skill lies in understanding not just potential gains, but hidden costs and cascading effects. The chosen one uses these tools to weigh options meticulously, acting decisively when the optimal moment arises. Precision, patience, and foresight converge, creating an advantage few others can replicate. Emotionally, mastering strategy under pressure develops confidence and composure. The panic that overwhelms most becomes a signal to focus, analyze, and act. By repeatedly practicing this in high-stakes scenarios, real or metaphorical, the Chosen One transforms pressure from a paralyzing force into a fuel for clarity, insight, and effective action. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the crucible in which mastery is forged. Neuroscience and psychology show that the brain responds to mistakes by strengthening neural pathways, increasing adaptability, and enhancing problem-solving skills. Each misstep on the Chosen One's path is a lesson encoded into the mind, preparing you for more complex challenges ahead. The key is not avoiding failure, but approaching it with awareness, reflection, and curiosity. In practical terms, learning through failure involves analyzing what went wrong without judgment, identifying patterns, and applying insights immediately. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and innovators often cite their setbacks as the source of their greatest breakthroughs. Similarly, the Chosen One uses each failure to refine strategy, calibrate decisions, and fortify resilience. Failure becomes not a setback, but a stepping stone toward excellence. Emotionally, this process transforms fear into empowerment. The shame or frustration often associated with mistakes diminishes as perspective shifts toward growth. Each challenge survives, strengthens confidence, cultivates grit, and reinforces the understanding that mastery is not a straight path, but a series of trials designed to expand capability and deepen wisdom. No trial exists in isolation. Complexity science and systems thinking reveal that challenges are interconnected, often producing cascading effects across multiple areas of life. The Chosen One learns to view each obstacle not as a single test, but as part of a larger web, where lessons compound and opportunities arise in unexpected ways. Recognizing these connections transforms uncertainty into insight. For example, improving decision-making under pressure strengthens emotional resilience, which in turn improves social interactions and problem-solving in other domains. Each victory or failure creates ripples that affect the next challenge. By understanding these links, the Chosen One acts with foresight, leveraging prior experience to navigate new situations with greater efficiency and awareness. Emotionally, seeing the interconnected nature of trials cultivates patience and strategic thinking. The Chosen One realizes that temporary setbacks often serve a larger purpose, and that every difficulty contains lessons that will amplify future success. This perspective fosters resilience, hope, and a sense of purpose, making each challenge feel meaningful rather than random. Reaching mastery is one thing, sustaining it is another. Research in performance psychology shows that long-term achievement depends not just on skill, but on deliberate habits, recovery, and mental maintenance. The Chosen One integrates routines that optimize focus, energy, and decision-making, balancing intense effort with restorative practices that prevent burnout and maintain clarity. Daily structure, sleep, mindfulness, and reflection become tools for longevity. Elite performers in sports, music, and business all rely on systems that combine practice, rest, and analysis. Similarly, the Chosen One builds rituals that allow for consistent progress, ensuring that peak performance is sustainable and not fleeting. Recovery and reflection are not passive. They are active components of mastery. Emotionally, sustaining the peak creates confidence and calm. Knowing that routines and strategies exist to protect mental and physical capacity reduces anxiety and uncertainty. The Chosen One becomes a model of balanced strength, demonstrating that true power is sustained through discipline, foresight, and attention to both effort and restoration. The journey of the Chosen One does not end with mastery of the present, it begins with foresight. Anticipating challenges before they appear is not clairvoyance. It is the deliberate practice of scenario planning, pattern recognition, and risk assessment. By visualizing potential obstacles, the mind prepares solutions in advance, turning uncertainty into a predictable landscape. This proactive mindset transforms fear into readiness and hesitation into action. Cognitive strategies such as mental simulation and pre-mortem analysis allow you to explore outcomes without experiencing failure firsthand. Military strategists, top athletes, and CEOs use these tools to predict pitfalls, adapt strategies, and optimize performance. For the Chosen One, this practice ensures that when trials arise, they meet them with composure, strategy, and confidence, rather than panic or improvisation. Emotionally, anticipation breeds calm and control. Instead of being blindsided by the unknown, you approach each challenge with curiosity and preparedness. Every obstacle becomes a test not of luck, but of foresight, turning uncertainty into an advantage. The future is no longer a source of anxiety. It becomes a terrain to navigate, master, and influence. Success is rarely sudden. It is the accumulation of small, deliberate actions. The principle of compounding, familiar in finance and physics, applies equally to personal mastery. Each minor victory strengthens skills, confidence, and neural pathways, creating a momentum that propels future achievements. For the Chosen One, recognizing the exponential power of small wins turns incremental progress into transformative evolution. Structuring actions to maximize long-term reward requires discipline and insight. Consistency in practice, reflection on outcomes, and targeted effort in high-impact areas create a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you act with focus, the greater the results, and the faster mastery accelerates. It is the aggregation of deliberate choices, not dramatic leaps, that produces enduring greatness. Emotionally, momentum builds motivation. Small wins, when acknowledged and analyzed, provide tangible proof of growth, fostering resilience and a forward-moving mindset. The Chosen One experiences a deep satisfaction in seeing progress compound, reinforcing confidence, ambition, and the belief that no challenge is insurmountable when approached methodically. Growth is not contained, it radiates. As the Chosen One evolves, their decisions, mindset, and energy influence everyone and everything around them. Systems thinking shows that personal transformation creates cascading effects. Improved relationships, enhanced opportunities, and unexpected advantages often emerge simply because the individual has changed. Your evolution becomes a catalyst for external change. In practical terms, this ripple manifests in subtle ways. Peers adopt new habits after observing discipline. Teams perform better when led by someone with clarity and resilience. And networks shift as opportunities align with the evolved individual. The Chosen One learns to see the interconnectedness of their actions and the larger consequences of their personal mastery. Emotionally, recognizing the ripple effect instills responsibility and purpose. Growth is not merely personal gain, it is a force that shapes reality around you. This awareness deepens motivation, strengthens ethical decision-making, and encourages deliberate action, knowing that every step forward influences the broader system in profound ways. Motivation is a system, not a whim. Understanding the mechanics of reward, the balance of intrinsic and extrinsic drivers, is essential for sustained performance. Neuroscience shows that the anticipation of reward triggers dopamine, creating desire, focus, and energy. The chosen one learns to design challenges and incentives that push limits while providing meaningful feedback, ensuring that effort aligns with long-term objectives. Intrinsic motivation, the inner drive rooted in purpose, mastery, and curiosity, is what sustains deep commitment. Extrinsic motivation, recognition, tangible rewards, or status, can amplify effort when strategically applied. The chosen one integrates both, creating systems that make hard work enjoyable, meaningful, and self-reinforcing. This ensures that challenges do not become burdens, but stepping stones to growth and mastery. Emotionally, mastering the mechanics of reward fosters empowerment and resilience. The chosen one experiences a sense of control over effort and outcome, turning persistence into a deeply satisfying process. By understanding what drives behavior and leveraging it intelligently, motivation becomes a renewable force, propelling progress even in the face of adversity. The path of the chosen one is never linear. Life throws unforeseen obstacles, sudden opportunities, and shifting conditions that test adaptability. Adaptive strategy is the skill of responding with precision under uncertainty, turning surprises into advantages rather than setbacks. This requires both analytical thinking and intuition, a balance between evaluating patterns and trusting your instincts in real time. In practice, adaptive strategy involves scenario planning, rapid learning, and situational awareness. Leaders in business, military operations, and extreme sports consistently outperform peers because they adjust plans dynamically rather than clinging rigidly to a single course. The chosen one applies this principle to all areas: mental, emotional, and practical challenges, ensuring that flexibility becomes a tool for mastery rather than a sign of weakness. Emotionally, adaptive strategy cultivates calm and confidence. When the unexpected arises, panic is replaced with deliberate action. Each challenge becomes a test not only of skill, but of agility, reinforcing resilience, reinforcing the understanding that success is not about predicting everything. It's about mastering your response. The journey of the chosen one is more than a story of trials and mastery. It is a lived experience of transformation, resilience, and self-discovery. Personally, walking this path has revealed that challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow, adapt, and uncover untapped potential. Every failure, victory, and reflection reinforce the truth that mastery is not instantaneous. It is built through deliberate action, focused learning, and emotional intelligence. My experience has shown that the integration of knowledge, strategy, and mindset can turn uncertainty into clarity and ambition into achievement. This video is designed not just to inspire, but to educate. From cognitive strategies to emotional alchemy, from adaptive thinking to the physics of progress, each principle is grounded in research, philosophy, and practical application. Readers and learners can take away actionable tools such as scenario planning, flow induction, reflection, and structured challenge, that can be applied to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. The insights provided aim to cultivate resilience, strategic thinking, and self-mastery, empowering anyone to navigate life's complexities with confidence and purpose. If this journey has inspired you, there's much more to explore and implement. Subscribe to stay connected and receive deeper insights, practical strategies, and motivational guidance to continue your transformation. By following this path consistently, you can turn knowledge into action, challenges into opportunity, and growth into a lifestyle. Your next step begins here. Embrace it, commit to it, and unlock the limitless potential that lies within you.